to I don't know, something like 40 pages on the pitch itself, and this kind of just hits home for me because you said in the beginning of one of the chapters that very few entrepreneurs do it well, and almost all of them hate it, right? And I think that the same can be said for sales. I find it, having spent the last 5 years in the Valley, I find it really surprising being around tons of Stanford people who are just incredibly smart entrepreneurs, technically incredibly savvy, but who either just don't understand sales or that understand that there's a sales process or have any kind of desire to understand it, yet they're trying to run a big company. Right. So in the context of how to pitch for money, what are kind of the big takeaways from the content of your book?
Yeah, I think a couple things. One is that VCs blink, and the first 10 to 15 minutes they make a decision about whether they want to invest the next 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you have to establish credibility in those 10 to 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
Why are you uniquely able to be effective in pursuing this business? What's your unfair advantage in pursuing this? Why can't 5 people in Silicon Valley, 5 people at Harvard, 5 people in India do the exact same thing? And then have that sort of summary of you, but also the depth. I tell a little bit the story of when I was an entrepreneur and pitching John Doerr at Kleiner Perkins, and how mortified I was when I was pitching the full Kleiner partnership, and we eventually did get funding from Kleiner, but John in particular was pushing me on the financial model and going 5 levels deep in his questioning, and I was not fully prepared, and I stumbled, and my co-founder stumbled, and we sort of muscled our way through it. But I afterwards sort of vowed never to be as unprepared as I was heading into a meeting. That I would know every cell on every spreadsheet that I would show at the summary level, so that you would never look unprepared. And I think that's critical for the entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. So preparedness is huge, obviously, in understanding your own business model and business plan, and probably anticipating as many hard questions as you can and getting other people to ask them first.
Right? Yeah, one of my partners likes to say, when you have risks and flaws, don't hide them, feature them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing that most impresses VCs is when the entrepreneur says, here are the risks in the business. Now here's my plan to mitigate those risks. Just be very direct and honest. When entrepreneurs sort of don't talk about the risks, it forces the VC to pull them out and identify them, and then the VC thinks, well,
this guy doesn't even know.
Yeah, maybe they don't even know. And if they don't know the one I just thought of, what are the 3 others that I didn't think of that they don't know?
Yeah. Navigating a term sheet is pretty tricky, right?
Yeah.
There's good sites now like The Funded that have lots of sample term sheets on them, and probably more information than there ever has been from entrepreneurs about what to watch out for. But what would you think are the main, it's probably hard for you as a VC to say honestly, like, these are the things you don't want to sign off on, because then someone will come to you and use it against you, right?
It's funny, I did a whole chapter on term sheet terms and negotiations, and one phrase that I use, which is very common, is that in many partnerships, when entrepreneurs push on price, the partnership says, hey, if you love the deal at 7 pre, you love the deal at 9 pre. I mean, if it's going to be a great success, it's lost in the noise. So I get teased by entrepreneurs who throw it back at me. But no, I try to be very transparent in revealing all the elements of control and all the tricks that VCs can play on control, all the elements on price and all the tricks and the knobs that you got to worry about on price.